You're listening to the Gab Street Podcast, Columbus, Ohio's #1 podcast for underground talent. Every week we have new conversations with interesting individuals who contribute to the Columbus economy and its lively culture. You may find just what you're looking for right in your backyard. Let's get right into it. Continue.
Making hats to t-shirts, you know what I mean? Like basic stuff, you know what I mean? Like basic screen printed stuff. But you know, of course, you support it. It's your homie. So like, look at these damn pants. Like these could be in any store. Like they could be. Man,
I thought you got it from a store.
Yeah.
Like I saw those and I was like, shit, those are fly. He probably got those from fucking Tommy Hilfiger or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
So who made those?
His name is Ox, but his brand is Ill Reference.
Okay.
So yeah, he makes great stuff, and like. What I love about Ox is like he carries like a similar spirit of collaboration. Like he knows what he's good at, and like he outsources the other stuff that he needs to other local people. And like some people, like I know one guy he works with is a graphic designer. He's not even from Columbus, but he just built a relationship with him, and he like bought him an iPad and stuff so he could like really get into graphic design and like and you know what I mean, like really invested in his people. So that's and he's just now he's like he's also does photography, so like all of that sort of came up at the same time to where he's doing his own product shoots and doing product shoots for other people. So it's like while his clothes get better, his ability to represent his clothes is also getting better. So it's like it's not like he's gonna have any whack pictures of anyone wearing these pants or you know what I mean, something like that, and he gets to take them. So I'm just proud of that fool.
Damn.
But yeah, he's a monster. Like Ill Reference, buy their shit. Buy his shit, man.
That's happening here, dude.
Yes.
That's happening fucking here.
Don't miss the next drop of pants. For real. You ain't gonna... Look at these.
Dude, people are covering all their bases in this city. It happens. People are covering every single point of production. We are vertically integrating in Columbus.
Man.
As fucking clothing designers. What's up? Yeah. This is super cool. You know what else is super cool is the fact that I have Yogi Split on the podcast today for episode 56.
Boom.
Thank you for coming out today. And we'll listen next week. No, I'm just kidding. Yogi Split is a prolific collaborator and musician. He is... would you say you're primarily a producer? Or...
I would say, like, the term that I've come up with myself... or not with, but... Well, actually with, but for myself last year is, like... I really see myself as, like, a musical director.
Okay.
I sort of... Like, I was initially known for writing. Some people really know me for engineering. Like, it's coming to the point where now some people know, like, some people will come to me for beats and be like, oh, you mix? Be like, oh, wait, you rap too? And it's, I used to try and throw it in everyone's face all the time, but, like, I realized, like, let me just work and get better at what I'm trying to do. And everything else will do itself, and it has. So, like, I would, like... It's like whatever you need, I can probably help you do it. Like that's sort of the approach I'm trying to take and be as good at everything as I can be. So trying to figure out the different ways to work on being a producer, being an engineer, and still being a writer. So I can, because I don't know, I feel like that's you got it. Like I used to do theater, and it was all about being a triple threat. And I'm trying to carry that same mentality into music. Like you know, not really, you know. What is it saying? Like, jack of all trades, master of none. Like, but I'm trying to put 10,000 hours into a lot of different things. So hopefully I can master some of these things too. But
fuck yeah.
Yeah.
What are some challenges you've run into maybe ending up being spread too thin at some points in your career?
I would say I've ran into that problem a lot. And consistently it's because I'm running around without a plan. Like, it's very easy for me to get spread too thin because I love working. So sometimes I would find myself, like, working just to work and, like, not knowing what to do with it. Like, actually, last night I was organized. You can ask her because I thought I was going to be done with my file cleanup. But, like, I was just putting all my songs to the side and, like, putting them in different folders. And I realized, like, I had a lot of throwaway songs. And, like, and there was a lot of energy put into like making these music, and it's important because my philosophy is that like to get to a really great song you need to make a bunch of trash songs, especially in my position. Like I'm a writer, producer, like every beat isn't going to be a smacker, like every song that I write is not going to be amazing. So like and then if I'm making the beats, and luckily I have amazing producers, so I don't make all of my own beats, but recently I've been making some of my own productions too, so like trying to line up, each thing with then getting the right mix for that, it's like it's a humbling process. So yeah, I would I'm a tangenter, like I go on long tangents.
Perfect.
So
we love that here.
But yeah, I think that's the conclusion of my thought.
Okay. Well, one such musical project you have released, at least on an Instagram story, while I was doing some research last night, you put out this beat that you called Square, at least in the file name, and that shit was hot.
My guy.
That's what I'm going to say about that. So this man has the quality to back up, to the evidence to back up the quality, I should say. So we were talking about Square a little bit earlier. Yeah. I wanted to get back on that train of thought.
Definitely.
I forget what exactly it was.
Yeah, it was. We were talking about the fact that it's like, and I feel like all producers will be able to relate to this feeling. And I mean, even like content producers, like you might have like some other podcast episodes. It's like, as an artist, like the things that we make, we think they're going to be things that just take us out of here. You know what I mean? Or something that everyone bites or supports. Or like for me as a producer, I'm like, oh man, a bunch of rappers are going to want this beat. Like if I was a rapper and I heard this, I'd buy this beat right away. And I had a couple producers like respond to that story, like, man, this beat's crazy, this beat's hard, and I'm like, that's what I thought too, but no rappers responded, so I'm like, what, like,
priorities, man.
I think it's just funny too, like, I feel like if the same people who heard that beat with no vocals on it heard it with a rapper, like, really spazzing, excuse me, they would hit me up and be like, yo, bro, I need a beat just like that beat's so hard, like. So we'll see. I mean, they're gonna hear it eventually. Like either I'm gonna rap on it, or they're gonna hear a crazy ass song with that. But because that's what I'm trying to do this year too. Is like I'm gonna post the beats once. If they don't sell, I'm gonna put them away, and then like in a session I'll show them, or I'll just like figure out what I really want to do with that beat. But I'm really trying to produce as many songs as I can this year. Like that's a big goal. So that's why it's interesting. Like to see what beats people are attracted to, because it's like you as the producer, really, especially when you're making music for yourself. I'm not making tight beats. Like I'm just trying to make a beat that I like. It's interesting, like when people maybe lean towards a beat that you're like, this is trash. This is my warm up beat, but your warm up beat ends up making you a couple $100, and you're like, oh well, maybe I should warm up more, because damn. But yeah. So you could, if you want to check out Square, come to the studio, because no one's got the exclusive yet. But
and what's
I'll
that
probably
studio?
rap on it. Palace Recordings.
Palace fucking Recordings.
Yes.
Let's talk about that, shall we?
Yes.
So Palace Recordings is kind of wherever you are.
Yes.
Like home is where the heart is, you might say.
Yes.
And you guys have a whole monthly system where people can sign up to record for so many hours a week and such. It's real shit. It's set up like a business. So I had a lot of respect for the way that was set up and the way that was promoted. Tell us a little bit about the tier system that people could sign up for.
Yeah. So in the past, our system has worked to where like we had a set price, and we were just trying to get people into those categories. I started to realize that one, like, no matter, and I feel as all businesses, and especially as a studio, it's like it doesn't necessarily do you good to promote prices just because people are going to spend what they want to spend, like at the end of the day. Like, so I just tell people to come to me. Like, how consistently are you looking to record? Are you looking to get all your songs mastered? You don't have beats? Okay. You want to get beats? Cool. You want to get leases, or do you want to get exclusives, or do you want to get customs? Like, because, and then honestly, our prices are cheap right now. Like, and they've been cheap for years. And it's, some people have told me to increase my rates and price going up. And we all get caught up in that sometimes, especially when we're doing work that we feel like is quality. But the reason why I created the tiered system in the first place is so that more people could record. So more, and like not only so they could record, but so that more people could record more. Like, because the only way you get better is by recording. Like, you're not gonna record one song a month and make a song, like, unless that song is a smash and like you're practicing on your own, like, and even then you're not becoming a good recording artist. Like, you need to put in that time, like, just on the mic. Like, when we talk about different collaborators that we've worked with later in this interview, it's like a lot of the things you'll notice about a lot of people I work with is they're good at recording. Like, not just they write cool stuff or they have a nice melody, like, they know how to use their instrument. And you can't do that unless you're in the studio, because it's a completely different demon. Like, you can write all you want and like practice it, but until you put it down on wax and hear it back in the headphones, you're not going to be able to know. Like, and luckily I've always recorded myself. Even before I knew what engineering was, I always recorded myself, except for shout out Ben/Surf Team, like, who was my like engineer. And shout out Kai and Quinn for like engineering my stuff too, and like teaching me stuff. But and Jimmy DeRosa for teaching me, and because Jimmy's the GOAT. But for real, like, well, I lost my train of thought in shout outs, but yeah, I was at the end of my statement. Shout out all of them though, because they made me what I am.
Hell yeah. We'll
the tiered system.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's so, yeah. So get at me. I work with all budgets. I'm literally here because I love working with artists. I love working with artists over a long period of time. It's dope. A lot of my first clients, actually, a lot of my first clients I still have to this day. Like, my very first client, shout out X Deep, shout out Loch Ness John. They were coming over to my parents' house before I even moved into my original spot, like my first house, the dojo, before like Palace Recordings was even a thing. Like, when I was just beginning to be an engineer. And yeah, they're like, we still record, like, they still hit me up for sessions to this day.
That's a sign of quality, I think, because, you know, anybody can get a lot of people at least interested. You know what I mean? Anybody can pay for an Instagram promotion.
Yep.
You know? And when you have literal, like, brand loyalty, you know what I mean? Especially when it's for, let's put this show, for example. This show is geared specifically toward people who are interested or already live in Columbus, you know? And the fact that we have, like, it's in that limited pot of people, still having people that will loyally come back and still pay you for the work that you do more and more. They believe in you, they believe in your product. So I think that's really dope.
And it's just an exchange. Like, it's just not about the money. Like, it's an energy exchange, like, each time, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what I love about seeing, because I actually talked to, because obviously I've been working with some of these dudes for like 4 years, so like a lot of them I've become good friends with them, and they become good friends of mine, because shit, you're in my house for, like, I used to do $100 every 2 weeks, and you could come over to my house any day of the week. Just hit me up, say I'm coming through, I'll record you, we can figure out the mastering and stuff later.
Nice.
And so, like, as you can imagine, like, we had a bunch of people, like, that's why I love my dude Quinn, because, like, I threw a lot on him, like, at once, with, like, the amount of people we had coming through our house, like, and because on Mondays and Tuesdays, those were the days that we would set aside specifically for those people. So, like, we would, like, on Mondays and Tuesdays, we would just be going so hard, like, and that was also working a part-time job, so, like, that's just a grind, like, and then, like, all the other stuff throughout the week, like, you know, me as an artist, I was trying to have my sessions, like, for, you know, my Yogi split sessions, and then features, and then trying to make room for making beats, all that stuff, and that's where the burnout that you were talking about earlier comes in. It's like, when you, like, for me, I, like, didn't have a plan, but I was trying to force the idea of a schedule on myself, and I didn't, like, I had to accept, it's like, bro, you've always been sort of best in chaos, like, just figure out how to control that shit, like, rather than, like, putting yourself on a regimen that you know you're not going to buy into, like, so to speak.
And before we began, you know, we mentioned how you're a prolific collaborator, and that's with, you know, having people come over and work with you in that sense. But you've been in the game a little bit longer than I have, and you have an idea of kind of the timeline of when things have been popping off and when things have kind of slid off a little bit. And I wanted to hear a little bit of your synopsis of the history of Columbus hip hop scene within the last 5 years or so.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, 5 years, I could definitely give a pretty good rundown of that. Because, like, before me, and, like, all the artists that, like, are in, we'll say, my grad class of artists, like, not necessarily, like, 2014 when I graduated, but, like, all the artists that are sort of around, like, in Columbus now, like, I would say, like, 2015 was, like, the push, like, where a lot of the people started showing up here. Like, I can't remember if it was 2015 or 2016, but, like, that's when Sarab and Joey H, like, got here. And then, like, in 2015, I was doing shows. I was performing a lot. I feel like that was a summer where people really decided that they were going to take this music shit seriously. And, like, not that we didn't have people who weren't taking it seriously, but as a community, it was like, yo, we're tired of, like, people not popping. We're tired of seeing the potential but not seeing it get exercised. Like, we need to put in the groundwork. And so, like, I would say, like, 2015 was, like, shows. 2016 was, like, people linking up. So, you know what I mean? You have people becoming friends, more shows happening because more connections are being made. And then, like, 2017, I feel like everyone sort of settled into themselves. You know what I mean? Like, people started realizing, okay, I can't just be out here. Yeah. Like, it's more than just being around and doing 1,000 shows a week. Because, like, me and I could go on for days with other artists who know this information only because they busted their ass on the show circuit or, like, run and train on venues in Columbus. Like, a lot of these spaces, like, Double Happiness, that's what I said, like, 2017 Double Happiness, like, prime time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because Vern, I remember Vern was talking to Vern yesterday.
Shout out OG Vern.
Shout out, man. Love,
you are
bro.
the first hip hop artist I have seen perform here, so that's pretty dope.
Yeah. Like, and because we were just talking about, like, when I saw him at Rehab Tavern, and, like, he was standing on the table, and it was, like, an amazing show. You know what I mean? But, like, I feel like people's identities, they started to craft their identities in, like, 2017. And I feel like 2018, it was pretty slow, honestly. I feel like a lot of people were focusing on themselves, which was necessary. Last year, I think it was about people. It was setting the setup. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, this is going to take a lot of time. Like, so, but also, there's a lot of money in Columbus, so we need to figure out how to cross those, like, you know what I mean? Make those bridges come over here. Like, build those bridges. That's not cross those bridges. Build those bridges into our community. And that's why you see people like Sam. Shout out Sam Rothstein. Like, because he is, like, we were also talking about shows. I mean, like, I'm, like, he's, like, 60 to 65% of the reason why it's, man, even bigger than that. Like, 80% of the reason why it's so easy to get a show, like, in Columbus now. Like, because, man, when we were coming up, like, 2015, like, you had to have a connection. Like, you had to, like, genuine, or, like, get one of those weird emails from a promotion company. Like, that's, like, the only way you were getting hip-hop shows were even happening. Or you have lots of money. Like, you have thousands of dollars and lots of following, so you can book these spaces. But now it's like Sam's creating, like, it's like the Pipeline show series has become a philosophy for him. Because, like, what he's doing with new work, like, that's creating the connection between the small town markets and Columbus.
Yeah, you've done that one a couple times, right?
I've done that show once, but I like to frequent Sam's events only because I feel like that's me putting my money where my mouth is. Like, I'm gonna, like, not only am I gonna say he's great, like, and say that I like what he's doing, I'm gonna perform on his shows, I'm gonna try and put other people on his shows, like, I'm gonna make sure, you know, even if I'm not there, I'm gonna promote the show, like, because I want people to go there, because I like the idea that he's working towards. Like,
speaking of the promotion, one thing I noticed looking through your promotional history and seeing you present some pieces at Visioneer Spotlight is that you take more of a unique comedic approach to promotion than literally anyone else I have ever seen in the city. For real, like, I don't see anyone else doing this, and I think the fact that no one else is doing this is a huge advantage for you. So some examples would be you know, like your profile picture on Instagram is like that Michael Phelps being super pissed.
Yeah.
Or what, I don't even remember where that's from.
He was getting ready to swim, and I think it was right before he won, like he set that record for gold medals, but like he was listening to a song on his headphones. He's like making like the stank face, and like someone asked him what he was listening to, and he said "Future, Mask Off."
Oh my god!
Like, so it's just Michael Phelps like making this hard ass face at this Future song.
So it has a connection to the music.
Yes,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
that's even deeper.
Yeah,
that has so many layers, man.
Yeah, dude, meta as fuck over here. No, and I also think it's just hilarious. You know what I mean? Like, Michael Phelps he's great. You know what I mean? He's great. Like, he's an Olympian, like, just legend. But
so are you saying he was listening to your music?
Not yet, but he will be.
It will be.
He's gonna set a new record to some new shit. So, yeah.
Hell yeah! Wait, did he set a record right after that?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like I'm not well versed in like the Olympian history, but like I'm pretty sure that was a year where he like it was. Is Michael Phelps still great?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, bitch, I'm great. Like, I'm amazing. I'm Michael Phelps. Like, what are you talking about?
The
like,
power of hip hop, man.
For real. Crazy. Shout out Future. Like,
you ever have some really hard hitting shit playing in your car and you notice you're speeding on accident? That's
all
how
the time.
That goes.
That's where most of my tickets like came from. It's just because like it's funny. Before I got my license, I told my parents, I would see people in their cars like. like living to their music, and I'm like, that's gonna be me. Like when I have a car, and it is like with people by myself. I'm just like this, like because I don't know, like that's what it's for, man. Like you're supposed to like get out of yourself, and I think that's what music is so great for. Like that's why also too I just love Abby because like she gets like when her songs really start playing like. Her shoulder starts moving. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be like, oh, there's that shoulder move, but it's like, it's about getting outside of yourself. Like, and really just blasting your shit. Like, we're not, I mean, sometimes it's good to listen to music like low, and you know what I mean? Like low volume and like some classical stuff, really just like reset your palate and cruise. But I've always like I'm saying, when I was a little kid, that's was one of my favorite parts about potentially like driving, was listening to music super loud and just, like, because there's nothing like that feeling. Like,
and I think you can find that versatility. Here's one of the points in the show is that you can find that versatility just here as well.
Yes.
You know, I mean, Michael Phelps was listening to Future Mask Off, but there are plenty of Mask Offs happening here at the same time. And, you know, for those of you who have not, if maybe this is your first episode, the point of this show is to demonstrate that this is not a flyover city. This is not a flyover state. This is there's something here for everybody. And, you know, what you just said kind of aptly puts that together is, you know, people like your music, having more chill stuff like Static Res, for instance, you know, or, you know, just hard-hitting, head-banging shit like That Boy Jonesy, like, shit like that.
And we have tons of street shit, too. Like, we have, like, our music is so diverse. Like, it's deeper than anyone honestly will ever be able to realize until we have people starting to blow and there's more space for these artists. Because right now everyone's fighting for this. Like, I don't even think people are fighting anymore. I feel like that was like 2 years, like 2018, 2017, the product of that. Now I just feel like everyone is genuinely like, not necessarily like so big, but like they have so much going on, so much talent, so much invested in the community that it's only a matter of time, and that we need to transcend. It's our responsibility as artists to take the next steps to make room for the next generation of Columbus artists, because like we're the generation that's going to be out of here. Like, we're the ones who people are going to be seeing our videos consistently. We're going to be making the big connections. Like, shout out Morgan Harper. Like, but literally like being a part of the community, like actually engaging with people, like, and you know, because that's what it takes. That's what hip hop is about. It's about like community, and just, you know, it doesn't matter what you do or necessarily even where you're from, like, especially if you're honest about it. Like, if you're real, like me, I'm from the burbs. I've never lied about being from the burbs. So some of the people I work with, you would never imagine that I would work with these people, but they have respect for me because I don't fake it. Like, I'm not trying to be hard. I'm not trying to be, you know what I mean, any other way than I am. And genuinely, I'm trying to learn about these people and get closer to them, because that's the only way you can get better as an individual, is learning other people's perspective, how and why they got to where they did, even if it's something that you wouldn't agree with. hearing, like, agree with doing, like, hearing how someone may have gotten to that space, you can maybe recognize that in your own life. And it's like, damn, like, well, let me take a step back a little bit. So yeah, this music shit is so cool. And, like, we're so blessed. Honestly, we're blessed that we don't have a lot of stars, because I feel like a lot of people would have gotten jaded and jealous, like, a couple years ago. But, like, now, like, you want to see people win, man. Like, there's no, because also other people are winning already. Like, I feel like I've won. Like, I got a studio, I do music full time. Like, no one can take that away from me. Like, you know what I mean? If Palace Recordings over here shuts down someplace, I'm gonna open another one. So it's like Michael Scott Paper Company. He's like, well, what are you gonna do, Michael? Well, if you shut down Michael Scott Paper Company, I'll open a new company. Michael, I got another one, Just Paper. You know what I mean? I'll close down Palace Recordings. I'm gonna open the Palace. I'm gonna open something. I'm gonna open Yogi Split Studio. I'm gonna open something. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna always have a microphone. So no one can take that away from me. Like, and like, having that is priceless, and it's a blessing, and I know to wake up with that every day. But that's why I also do, like, the tiered system, other things, because I want to work with these young artists. Like, shout out Juan Lee, shout out Trill 50, shout out, like, all my young dudes, because, like, they're committed and working hard, and they want to see something from this stuff. So it's my responsibility as not only an example as an artist, but as their engineer and producer, to be doing what I need to be doing so that they can transcend, and so I can do the same thing. Because we don't need to be performing necessarily in the same spaces unless we're putting the show together. Like, otherwise, it's like, we need to figure out how to get y'all where you need to go. I need to go here, and maybe someone else needs to be where we were gonna go. You know what I mean? Like, but that can't happen until, you know, like, me doing videos, dropping more singles, you know, being consistent with your promotion and stuff like that. So that's what I would say. 2020 is gonna be a beautiful year, because it's like, we know what we need to do. 2020, it's just about doing it. Like, in 2020 and forward, it's not just this year. Like, and even at the end of 2019, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's an action based year. Like, there's not really much to talk about anymore.
Actually, in recent memory, I don't have any examples of anyone else making that point where we have to bring up the people of the next generation of artists. I haven't really thought about that, and it's refreshing to hear that, because, you know, I think you're about 5 years older than I am, something like that. I'm 19.
Oh,
so,
word. Yeah, I'm 23.
Okay. Yeah. So to hear that coming from somebody makes me feel good about this, because I intend on being a part of that as well.
Definitely.
Come on the show. I will do my best to try and help you succeed.
He will.
Facts. But I mean, once we have like Doobie, for example, he's up there.
Yep.
He's in that upper echelon now.
Yep.
That can only happen more.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what we got Doobie, we got EKT40, you know what I mean? Like, we got stars, like, real stars. And that's why, honestly, like Trippie Redd, like, having an artist that's, like, deep in the industry, like, from Ohio, like, he doesn't need to be Columbus's superhero, because he can come here and, like, boost up our artists. And, like, that's what we need, is, like, some people from Columbus that are, like, boosting up the scene. That's why, I mean, I like to see, like, SCFMG, like, tapped into the scene more, because they need that presence. Like, it's important that people actually know who Doobie is, like, and shake his hand, not maybe shake their hand, but, like, really see them, like, especially for the artists in this community, because, like, we see the videos, we see the vision, like, but we don't see you. And I think they recognize that, and, like, last year and this year has been a big turning point for, like, all the artists, and, like, seeing 40 and other bigger artists, it puts the pressure on the people at the top to do what they say, like, and be about, like, the city, because it's like, well, it's only profitable at this point to, like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's you'd have to be an idiot not to see this. Like, it's a wave that people have been caught, like, we've been calling this since I was in high school, you know what I'm saying? Like, since 2011, like, it's gonna be crazy. Look at all this talent, like, look at all, like, and people from outside of Columbus have always recognized it, you know what I mean? Especially artists from, like, Cincinnati, Dayton, Cleveland, like, a lot of people move here because they're like, this scene is dope, and, like, they even, like, are really good at, you know, crossing the lines and stuff, because they're looking at it from an outsider's perspective. I feel like a lot of Columbus artists, like, we forget what's in our backyard because we're here. Like, but some other people come here and they're like, y'all got all this stuff here at your disposal and you're not using it? Like, put up or shut up, bro. Like, 'cause if not, I'm gonna use this. Like, and I'm gonna take it somewhere. Like, so it's been dope. Like, seeing a combination of like, shout out Trip, like, because like, you know what I mean? Like,
Fontaine?
yes.
Yeah.
Like, came from Dayton and like made it pop. You know what I'm saying? Like, really made it. Like, I remember when he moved here, we would link all the time and just chill, smoke, talk about the city. Because we've been friends for a while now. But like, he got here and got straight to work. Like, straight to it, like, and hasn't looked back. And I think, and for me, it's a great example because I've always been here. So like, you know, I've been doing what I can, but I'm like, just to see someone making not lemonade, like a lemonade company, like showing you how to really do this shit. It's like, and I look at him, like, he's one of my OGs. So it's like, and he's all about that. He's all about giving game and helping people out. And
he did a fucking TED Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
he works with kids. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of, that's an insane amount of access. Like, and there's some kids who realize it and some who don't, but it's like, it's going to be crazy that Trip Fontaine was your teacher. Like, crazy. Like, it's going to be crazy that he works with Caroline Bennett and Cody Jude. Like, it's going to be crazy that these people were your teachers. Like, and if you don't realize it now, that's fine, because they don't care about that. They care about teaching you. Like, but that's just the spirit of Columbus. I feel like it's because we crave OGs. So it's like, well, it's like people who are like, if I didn't have, like, you know, men who didn't have fathers and women who didn't have, you know, mothers, it's like, I'm going to be the best father that I can because I didn't have that. Like, or I'm going to be the best mother that I can because I didn't have that. Well, we're going to be the best OGs that we can because we didn't have that. Like me and Bree the rapper, like with her Diamond Palace recordings, and Dreamcatcher Studios and Jimmy with Orange Udio. It's like, we're going to be the best studios that we can be because we want y'all to be the best artists you can be because it makes us look better as a studio. It makes Columbus look better as a whole. Like,
got to build the infrastructure.
Got to.
It's got to be there.
Man, that's one of my favorite things to talk about is the fact that it's been like, we haven't had that. And I want people to remember that because we can recognize the growth. But it's like, bro, you didn't used to be able to go to the studio for $50, like, you know what I mean? Like, for $100, be getting masters and like, excuse me, like really quality stuff. Like, and that's why I mentioned them because like maybe someone would ask, well, why are you mentioning your competitions? I don't view them as competition. They're my peers and my friends, like people who I respect and who have all taught me a bunch. Like Rachel Renee, Rizzo, Bree, Jimmy, Durr, Kai, all these people, Quinn, they've taught me so much along the way. So it's like, and two, like I said, I have great client retention. I'm not afraid of them going and like me losing any business if I talk about someone else. And I think that a lot of other artists in Columbus, they feel that way too. They're like, it doesn't take anything away from me to talk about someone else because at the end of the day, it makes me look dope. Like, why? Because these people are sick and I'm also in the same city as these people. So it's sick that I'm sick and they're sick. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, and I think a lot of people, as they start to realize that they're a part of something, like you're not an outsider. Like, for real, you're a part of a community. Like, even if, like, because me, I'm more of an outsider type of guy. Like, as much as I'm around and I like to be engaged in the scene, like, I'm in my house or in my studio 18 hours, you know what I mean, a day. Like, all just behind the studio. But, nah, this scene is, like, I love it. I've never, like, not. That's why I always would wear, like, I've wore that Ohio Against the World coat to death. Like, like I need to, like, take care of it and clean it but I'm so proud to be from here. Like, someone, like, there's a gas station by the studio, and a dude asked me, one of the gas station attendants was like, what's with all this Ohio Against the World stuff? And I'm like, man, I love Ohio. I'm proud to be from Columbus. Like, that's why I have all this Ohio Against the World stuff, because it's Ohio against the world. Like, what are you talking? Like, to me, it's a no-brainer. Like, but...
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into the Gab Street Podcast. We're going to go ahead and hear a quick commercial break from Kuwop and Little Flea 614.
Kuwop checking in with y'all, man. Columbus, Ohio, stand up. OCMG repping it to the fullest, you know. Make sure y'all go download and stream my new album, 717, out now on all streaming platforms with my hit singles, White Runs, rumors, and traffic. Yeah. This February 24th, we at XL Lounge in Columbus for crowd control. Shout out my brother Juice and Lonnie from 106.7. And 2 days later, February 26th, we performing in Athens, Ohio. On March 2nd, I'm gonna be back at XL Lounge for another crowd control. Then later that week on March 7th, we'll be performing at Cloud City, courtesy of my boy Sam Rothstein. Finally, on March 14th, we start the tour at the Ballroom in Black Lick, Ohio. Hit 30 different cities in 15 different states all across the country. Tickets on sale now, so get yours ASAP before they sell out, cause I promise you don't wanna miss this. Shout out Gab Street Podcast for showing me love, man, and make sure y'all tune in on my interview with them coming out soon. Cool.
Hey there, Gab Street listeners. My name's Adam Himmel, and I'm the organizer for Little Flea in Old North. Our goal is to bring makers, artists, and neighbors together for an array of awesome events. We're looking forward to our next big flea market on April 26th at the Rambling House from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. We'll have a bunch of great local vendors for you to shop, craft sodas, and mimosas to drink. We hope you'll come hang out with us. You can be up to date on future events by following us at littleflea.614 on Instagram.
Let's talk about that outsider concept that you mentioned a little bit earlier, because that kind of goes into something that we have in common, actually. We both went to Upper Arlington High School. And did you go to the high school, or did you just live there at some point and then?
Yeah. So I actually never went to the high school.
Okay.
I went to what is now known as Wycliffe Progressive Community School.
I went to Wycliffe.
You did?
Yes.
So was Dr. Burton still the principal there when you went?
No, he was not.
Oh man, he was awesome. Yeah, he was awesome. Yeah, Wycliffe was honestly a really good school. I didn't have too many terrible experiences there. It really wasn't until middle school.
Well, going to that district in general is very isolatory, if that's a word, from Columbus's hip hop scene. 100%. Columbus in general.
Yeah.
A lot of people there, and yes, all the shade.
All of it. All of it. Here comes the tea.
A lot of people there, their attitude is more to idolize people outside of our flyover state. You know what I mean? And a lot of people having dreams of running off to other faraway places. And I put an effort forward to try and fight that attitude. I did a hip-hop club there for a couple years where I had Jay Carey come in and talk. I had Kenneth Jackson. I had Senseless come in and talk. Josh Miller, Cole Baker, and I was trying to put some of that culture in there, and it didn't really work that well.
Yeah.
But I think I was the first person,
especially too, because Senseless and the people you're mentioning, these are that's rehab babies. You know what I mean? These are real fundamentalist kind of hip hop artists. And so. And that's why I love Rehab, is because they really cater to that core idea of hip hop. You know what I mean? It's just it's inclusive.
Well, Josh Miller's the break, pretty much.
Yeah. It's just it's we're talking about real Columbus shit too. It's these are unless you know, you wouldn't realize that this is a real OG who cares about the scene. Just put in hours and hours of work to ensure its growth. But yeah, that's Upper Arlington. Man, it was just what
was your experience switching from there to Columbus City Schools?
Yeah, it was amazing, honestly, because the big reason my parents wanted us to move was diversity. Because my family, we experienced my siblings, all of us experienced a lot of bullying. And some of it was for other reasons. A lot of it you could claim it to be racial, just because we stuck out. Is your family from Upper Arlington, or did you guys move there at one point?
I lived in Hilliard for a long time.
So you'll recognize. So yeah, and you said outsiders. It's unless your grandparents were from Upper Arlington, and then their parents are second generation, and you're now third generation, and they don't respect you.
I felt that.
Yeah, and that's
thank you for putting that into words, because that is so accurate.
It doesn't matter, and it's not, and that isn't a racial thing. That is a genuine nose in the air, blue blood type thing. Oh, you're not pure. You know what I mean? You're not pure, because it's Upper Arlington.
It's legacy.
It was how many times did they vote to not have a community center because they didn't want to they wanted to keep out outsiders. We know what you're saying here. Like, we know what is being said.
Dude, redlining, dude.
Yeah.
That's real. UA was zoned as a white neighborhood for a long time.
Yep.
And it was founded,
Yep.
a long-ass time ago when that was acceptable for some reason. That's real shit.
I forget whose page it was, but I follow someone, and he lives in Upper Arlington now, and he's a black man. And he's like working to like learn the history of Upper Arlington.
Did he do? I forget the name of the. It was like Equal UA. Was it? What was that? What it
Possibly.
was? It was like UAL.
I didn't see the actual thing he did. I just saw some information he posted like about Upper Arlington.
Okay.
Because like apparently, the owner of the land of the high school was a former slave turned millionaire.
Wow.
And they completely have removed that from like the history of Upper Arlington, and so like they're like that was like one of the things that he was doing was like digging that up, and I was like, I wish I would have known that like when I lived there. Like, can you believe like you wouldn't be able to believe that because like another thing he talked about is how in the leases of some of these houses it says like black people can't live here and Italian people, or like if they can't buy the house, and if they're Italian they can't do that, and it's like. Bro, come on. Like, it is 2020, man. Like,
and it's still in there.
Yes. Like, and
well, hold on. Are you sure? That's still in there?
I mean, if you're a homeowner, like, because my thing too is like, how many times has someone who is black or white has even attempted to buy the house? You know what I mean? How many times has that even been an issue? Like, not to say that we're not owning land, but like, whenever I'm getting ready to buy a house, I'm not looking at Upper Arlington. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at an area that is welcoming to me and my people. Yeah. So, like, I feel like too, that's why they don't want any outsiders. They don't want you to see anyone but black and gold, and they don't want you to see any, you know what I mean? That's what's like, it's all subtle brainwashing, but it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why all these kids are. Even the high school colors are the same. I haven't even thought about that until we're talking about that now. But there's like rival high schools where they got the same colors, like, and you're brought up even in middle school in like elementary school with those same colors. So it's just like, man. Like it's just, and it's cool. It's interesting, like meeting people from Upper Arlington, like that aren't there now, because everyone pretty much has the same perspective. It's like fuck Upper Arlington, but they don't care, like, and that's why it's important for the art scene for us to get money. So less Upper Arlingtons and God bless them, but less Franklintons pop up, because we can't have all this money and all the people getting kicked out of their original neighborhood, and now we got 5 beer companies, and then like now, like for me, like I work on this other company that I frequent these areas. I don't feel comfortable there, like, because people who go to those businesses look at me like I'm an outsider. I'm like, hold up, you started coming here 6 months ago, like, but we've been coming here for a long time, like a long time. So yeah, man, like Upper Arlington, and then like moving to Columbus was great, like because Ridgeview was so diverse. I think there's like something like 80 to 100 countries represented in that school. Damn. So and it's like, and then I went from there I went to Cause for 2 years, which was awesome because the education was absolutely amazing. Then I transferred to Centennial for half the day, and I went to Fort Hays Career Center for the second half of the day. So. And
you went to Fort Hays for theater, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How was that? Because you're a very energetic performer. Mm-hmm. You're a skilled performer. I imagine a lot of the skills that you learned from that education went into your performance.
Yes.
And how would you? What are some examples you would put out there for that?
I would say honestly, it's about just like kind of letting my work speak for itself. Okay. Like I used to try to do things the right way so hard in like theater then, and also because the director of my program, he had a lot of confidence in me, and I could like sense that like before I was like from my audition. I think it's because he respected my passion and like desire to like be really good. Like I wanted to be great. I wanted to be on Broadway. I wanted to Like when I walked on stage, like I wanted people to enjoy my performance and to remember it. Like not to be better than anyone on my cast, but to uplift the show. And why am I doing this if it's not going to be good? I'm performing. Like you're supposed to enjoy it. You're supposed to think I'm good at this. Like so that's why I'm trying to. You know what I mean? So I think really it was like just gaining some self-confidence. And like realizing like, oh, this isn't just something I'm casually good at. Like this is something that I can take seriously. And then too, at the same time, like I was really starting to form my identity as a musician and rapper around that time because I've been doing it since 8th grade. So like I've already been doing it for like 4 years, leading into my senior year. I think like, cause I made a lot of my friends and a lot of my best friends now, like, meaning like people who we have a really close bond. Those are friendships from then because they're musicians and like we all just became cool. It's like, dang, it's crazy that we're all here at the same time and we're all making music and learning stuff from each other. And that's where my spirit of collaboration comes from, because it's like, why would I not work with you? Why would we not figure out a song? Even if we don't drop it, why would we not link up and make beats and do whatever? Because you're making music, I'm making music. Like, let's do it. Like,
you're a team player.
Exactly. Like I love playing my role, man, because I love winning. Like I'm not like scoring points is fun, but if I get rebounds and a bunch of assists and we still get the ring, then I'm not complaining. Everyone gets the bonus. The city's uplifted. You know what I'm saying? Like
higher tides raise all ships.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm not trying to get the MVP just to not get the ring. Like that would be terrible. Like, and I feel like that was the race I used to play. Like I wanted to be the MVP and the one. I didn't even realize what that was. And then when I realized like that's just a race that they want you to get caught up in that. Like they want you to get caught up in chasing not the unattainable, but chasing the material and the like public perception game. Like, and then it's like, no, like just be comfortable with yourself and everything will come after that. Everything will come once you like really settle with yourself, know it is what you want to do, and then just get good at it and just do it every day. Like,
and who would you say they is in that context?
They is the powers that be, capitalism. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like they want us to feel like there's not supposed to be a lot of winners. It's supposed to feel like a never-ending rat race.
Scarcity mindset.
And I think that's too why people, even like more people are afraid to chase their dreams because they feel like, well, I need to be here before I can take this next step. It's like, you know, I never could have gotten to the point where I'm at now, like in terms of the money that I make, if I'd never quit my job.
Yeah.
Like, because I would have never committed, and I would have also had those hard times where I had to grind myself out of that. Like, and I had to, you know what I mean? Like, really commit to my craft. Like, and I feel like that's what's really made me better, is that mentality shift of like, now it's not like, oh, I need to work this job because this gives me a couple extra $100. But really, to me, I started to realize, like, because I used to serve a lot, you know, and so I'm like, well, if it's a slow week and I make $250 this week, or I make $400 this week, I could have made that off music if I just committed my time correctly, like, and just repeatedly getting that feeling like over and over again of like, I could have made this today, or I had to cancel a session today because of work, or I had to do this, right? You know what I mean? I was tired today because I had to wake up, you know, I was up dumb late, and so I had to wake up earlier than I wanted to, and, you know, go get this money. And it's like, actually, I'm getting less money. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, and also, I'm not able to ever make more money than this. But people are so afraid to take that step, and I understand, because you want to be comfortable. You don't want to maybe risk sacrificing your lifestyle. But nah, man, like, this is the way to live. Like, I'm telling you, man, like, ever since I've like not chased my dreams, I've lived them. I'm living my dreams. Like, since I started doing that, like, life just is doing its thing for me. Like, that's why, and I think that's why shout out Soul and Hakeem, like, two people that Hakeem's Art and Stuff and Soul OG Art, two graphic designers, painters, artists of all kinds. But they've both been full-time for years now. freelance
Nice.
artists, and
That's hard.
man, and it is, but
Yeah.
it's like there's two of the most positive individuals like that I know, and like two of the most just go with the like Soul's just loving more than he's like overtly positive, but it's like he's so go with the flow, and so just like nothing's gonna get me off my path, like regardless, like I'm gonna just do me. And it's like life just, whenever the more that they do them, the more life seems to give them opportunities to be themselves. And I'm like, this is an example, you know what I mean? I can emulate this in music, like, and it's like I'm saying, the universe is blessing me, like, so yeah, quit your job, man, like don't be afraid, but also like definitely get that base underneath yourself first, but once that starts becoming an excuse, like
Yeah,
get out of
savings.
there. Yes.
Get some savings first.
Yes.
Invest that into your craft and your art and your career that
Yes.
you want to be, that you dream of. Then you can take that leap.
Yeah, like if I would say invest in your gear, buy some good pieces of gear that you can make some money with, and then get like anywhere from $500 to $1,000, like, and quit your job. Like, do it. Like, just drink get some water, stay hydrated. Like, work on your diet so you're not craving things the way that we are conditioned to crave.
Listen to some podcasts.
Listen to some, like I'm saying, like wake up and listen to some podcasts, get your mind right, and yeah, man. Like,
Especially on Wednesday mornings, because that's when we come out.
Exactly. Like, just that's your Wednesday routine. Like, just wake up, check out the new podcast. Like, yeah, then get to that personal bag, man. It's nothing like it. It's nothing like making your own money. Like, it's nothing like that feeling. Like,
Let's delve into you as an artist a little bit more.
yeah.
What does Yogi Split as a name actually mean? I know Yogi is associated is someone who practices yoga.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that was part of it or if that was something different entirely.
So that wasn't a part of it when I was actually. So I feel like my name is. I feel like I'm learning the definition of it over time.
Okay.
I feel like almost like, because I'm very into the metaphysical things and the universe. But I feel like the universe gave me my name. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's something that I needed to grow into. Because like one thing that's cool about it is like Yogi. People started calling me that because I started growing facial hair in like 8th grade. So they're like, oh, you kind of look like a bear, like Yogi Split. You know what I mean? Yogi. So like, and then my freshman year at Cause, I split my pants. So like I had one group of friends was calling me Yogi, and one group of friends was calling me Split. And like I'd still been rapping. I don't even remember my names then. Like nothing good, nothing even memorable. Like I'm saying, I didn't remember it. I might not have even been using a name. And I think I might have been using just Yogi for a while, actually. Like, once someone told me Yogi, I think I was like, ooh, I like that. But then, like, when I got Split, I was like, and it had a ring to it. And it's not like some magic moment. Like, I can't recall. I don't know when I decided to take that name. But I know over time, like, it's really resonated with the people around me and, like, anyone who gets to know me. And also I think it's dope because like my birth name is Malcolm, and so like Malcolm X, like X Split, like Yogi Split, you know what I mean? So I think there's, and then too, like for me, I am very much about like merging like the light and dark sides of yourself, and like like the gray Jedi type thing. So it's like and like learning your dark side and like what those parts are about yourself, because that makes your light brighter. Like, so just trying to, that, the yin and yang type situation. But, and so, yeah, I was actually talking to Ad about this. Like, eventually I do want to become an actual yogi. Like, not only because that would be sick, but because, like, just to actually be a yogi, but because yoga is a great thing to be incorporated in my life. It would be amazing to not only be practicing yoga, but like practice it to the point where not only I can teach others, but I've mastered it. Like, so it's almost like my name has given me a new goal, like in life. You know what I mean? Because it's like I need to, and the Split holds me accountable, because it's like I used to struggle with my identity. I used to struggle with the idea of like, well, oh, who's Yogi and who's Malcolm, and oh, you don't know me, man. Like, and it's like, if I like to talk, I like to be very authentic in my record. So it's like, no, these people do know you. Like, well, that's why when I go out in public, the people who I've never met feel like they know me, and I want that feeling. Like, so, yeah, I think my name is about. I honestly, like I'm saying, we're gonna see over time. Watch as I grow, like, you know what I mean. But it's all about. I think Yogi, is just the perfect name, like, for real, because it's like, I think people are very comfortable. I think even just my name makes people more comfortable. Like, just, oh, what's up, Yogi? You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Like, yeah. I think people just and when they see me, you know what I mean? Like, they see like. You know, they see like kind of like a J. Cole looking dude, and so like they have the idea that, you know, oh, maybe he's a musician. It's like, well, yeah, actually I am about all this music shit. I'm about all this spiritual, metaphysical shit. I'm about all this healing, growth, elevation shit. I'm about all of that. Like, and you know, I feel like my name is a good representation of that. So,
correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Yogi the actual term for somebody that leads you up Mount Everest? You know, like in Nepal.
I don't know, but if that is, that would be sick. And I feel like that would add to the definition of my name, because I feel like that is one of my goals as a music director, is to lead people up the mountain and just to look like, hey, look, bruh. Like, look at how far we done came. Like, and some of my clients, especially like from last year and 2 years ago, I told them, I'm like, look where we're going to be at next year. Just wait and see. Like, and every year it's gotten crazier. And it's like, I've shout out Terrence Allen and Steph, like, two of my closest friends. Like, I told them, I'm like, man, like, watch where you're at as an artist, like, in 2 years, or like just in a year of like working with me. Like, even after just a year, like, they're producing their own. Like, they went from like, because they both were clearly naturally inclined from jump, so that's why a lot of the stuff stuck with them. But like Terrence Allen, like, he used to say he's not a singer. Now he's singing his own songs. Now he's making his own beats, doing his own mixes. Steph, same thing, recording himself, like, producing his own stuff, doing his own mixes. And I'm not saying that they never would have done this on their own, but it's a blessing to have been able to be a part of their process and to watch it happen, and to answer some of those trivial questions answer some of those pivotal questions that can take you from a place of like confusion to clarity, and being like, oh man, no, I can make this sound now. I feel comfortable in this position. I think seeing them do that is one of the most gratifying parts of this process, and seeing it in other clients across, you know what I mean, like, my span of working this engineering job.
And that ties in with a motif that I've seen across all of your online presence, is that your tagline is kind of, these things take time. Mm-hmm. I see that on your Twitter, I see that on your Instagram, and I think that what you just said kind of sums that up. But if you had anything more to add to what that tagline means.
Yeah. I think it's self-explanatory, you know? It's just like, it's about the work. Like, he's like, I can't remember because I love titles that are like straight to the point, or like, you know, like, can be easily explained, like, or just sort of have an idea that represents where I'm at in life. And I feel like these things take time has just been like, because I remember it hitting me like sometime either early last year or late 2018. And I was just like, man, that just really represents where I'm at right now. And at first it was going to be a project, and I think it still might be one. And that was the initial reason for me putting it, because I just like to throw things out into the public domain so they can just sit there for a while. Because I feel like that's another way of like casually promoting. Like, even if these things take time never comes out, like, there's a bunch of people who now that's in their head. They relate that to me. So it's like, and then when conversations like this can be birthed, because it's like, and then, you know what I mean? Because I want everyone to understand that. Like, you know, a lot of people, they come to me and they're looking for the magic answer. Like, oh, bro, how do I get shows? How do I get this? How do I get that? It's like, first of all, I've been here for 10 years and I still don't get the amount of shows that I'm sometimes looking to get. I sometimes don't, you know, sometimes I need to put my own events together. Like, sometimes some of the things that people see me doing, they don't realize that I had a big hand in putting some of these things together. Simply because I wanted to make sure I was represented in a way that people would enjoy. Like, because I hate being on shows and it's a bad show. Like, a lot of the times I won't be on those shows because I've, you know, back in the day I've done them. And like now I know it's like, it's as simple as asking the promoter when they book you for the show, who else is going to be on this show? Like, and you can
my energy going to be matched.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's why it's like, you know, I ask every promoter. That's the first question I ask. I don't even ask about money. I ask about who else is on this show. Who else is going to be on, because I don't want my fans bored.
Yeah.
Like, because you want the show to be good, like, and I want to be there. I prefer to show up early and leave at the end. So ideally, that 3 to 4 hours is filled with good stuff. And if it's not, it's very disappointing. Like,
that is a good point you bring up, because I go to some shows. I'm not super always out on the scene right now, because, you know, we're in R&D mode, you know what I mean? And we in the kitchen. And, you know, when I'll go to shows, sometimes, actually a lot of the time, I will see artists arrive for their set and then leave.
Yep.
You know?
It's lame. It's the lamest shit ever.
And like, that's not supportive whatsoever.
No, and well, and the other thing too is like, half of those people will be the people that cry out for support.
Yep.
So it's like, they're like, oh man, no one supports me, or no one this or that. It's like, dude, you didn't even stay for the show. Like, you don't even know that you were supposed to be paid because you left before the cuts got split.
Yep.
So now you don't even make any money. Like, you know what I mean? I can't even count the amount of times I've had my pockets padded because someone else left. Like, and it's just like, you don't even realize that being there, like, and us too, just showing up for your set. Show up early, bro.
Yep.
Like, because you wanna check your sound. You wanna, like, if you don't have your own DJ, which get your own DJ, or have multiple DJ homies that you can access and can pay, or you guys have some sort of setup. But like, build a relationship with that DJ at the show. Like, when you first meet, hey, what's up, bro? I'm so and so. Like, thank you so much for DJing my set. I appreciate it. Like, cause, bro, these dudes don't have to DJ your set. Like, they don't have to do cuts and do all kinds of crazy stuff. They could press play and just be like, oh, I'll bet. Okay, yeah. And I can say that because I've experienced that. I've had DJs who didn't care. Like, luckily not a lot, because we have a great DJ scene. But I have had that before.
Great DJ scene.
Like, I have had, you know what I mean? And, or like sound guys running the stuff, and like they just don't care. And like, I don't know about the sound guys, they weren't getting paid. You know what I mean? Like, there's all kinds of things. So don't leave anything on the table. Like, don't leave it up to the sound guys. Hey, fuck the sound guy. Like, no, not fuck the sound guy. Fuck you. You didn't show up on time. You didn't get your music checked. Like, you didn't load up your songs with the DJ. So now there's this awkward moment where the host is trying to make the crowd feel like there's no technical difficulties, even though that's what it feels like. You know what I mean? Like, and then you leave. You take 5 people with you.
Yeah. They
were all standing in the front. Now people feel like now there's just gaping space between the first person and the stage. Now people are uncomfortable. You know, now the next artist feels inclined to tell people to move up. People don't want to move up because they're comfortable where they were at. You know what I mean? It's just like, there's so many different dynamics at play, and it's like, even if you were gonna like not be at the front, just walk somewhere else, and then like, you know, congregate elsewhere. Like, and because then too, even if you don't want to make music with those artists, shake their hands. You don't have to follow them on Instagram, but like, make that connection. Like, because too, some of my favorite acts are people who I saw at a show and then walked up to them, followed them on social media, and then like them on social media matched up to their song, matched up to their personality, and I'm like, ooh, I'm a fan of you. Like, you, like, I want to see like where you go, and that's why I love collaborating, because it's like you see all these people develop over time, and it's like you actually give a fuck about them. Like, not like on some what can you do for me, but on some you're dope. End of story. Like, so.
Who are some of your favorite people to collaborate with in the city?
So I'll start with producers. So at Surf Team, we haven't made music in a little while, but like whenever we link, I feel like that's the sound that I'm like, my original fans, like, or like my like first fans who like have stuck around. That's what I was initially known for. Is like, it's a lot of like light-hearted, melodic, very almost poppy music. And then shout out KMB, my brother. We made way more music than we've released. Yeah, I mean, he's one of my favorite people to collaborate with. I just feel like he just brings a different energy out of me. I feel like it's another, like, he brings a lot of that Yogi that people like. A lot of my more aggressive songs are ironically on Cam's beats, like, because he loves it, like, when I just spaz and, like, he's like, bro, just kill this beat. So I love that.
Did he produce Switching Dimensions by any chance?
Soto produced that. Okay. So that's another one of and so, like, Soto and I, we have a bunch of collaborations and, like, stuff we've worked on together that hasn't come out. And we were roommates, but he's another one that I just love working with. He just has an amazing sound.
That song goes hard.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah,
I fuck with that song.
It's ironic because he produced it and we lived together for so long, but that was the first song of mine that he, like, produced. And yeah, man, like, Soto's a monster. Shout out Face. Shout out, you know, everything he's got going on, because he's another one who's, like, he's really focused on doing things that are going to leave a mark and, like, funnel the next great artist, like, and do things that can help them. Like, he's working on doing some freestyling stuff, and he used to do some stuff with OSU's Freestyle Club. So yeah, just another visionary, I feel like, and it was amazing to be able to live with him, because I feel like as a producer it raised my game, and as a rapper it raised my game, because lo and behold, he is ace. He is one of the most fire rappers in the city, but he doesn't rap all the times, and he really doesn't care about being in the spotlight. So maybe we were, like, some of his best records, I'm telling you, are going to end up being licensed by, like, Game of Thrones and all that. Like, he's going to make big money as a producer and as a writer, because he's such a good songwriter. And I look forward to us working together just to write songs together and, like, maybe produce, like, some songs together, because he's so good. And then I would say, like, to, like, Amazing Prophet. My boy Don, he's just a monster. I have a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out this year that he's produced.
Is he D the Prophet on Instagram?
No, he's amazing _ Prophet. He's produced a lot for Tobilla. Okay. He does a lot of his production. Yep. Yeah. Come on, yeah. Yeah, and Toby's another one of my favorite people to collaborate. I mean, this list is long and it's going to sound ingenuine, but I, like, really do love, a lot of my stuff is collaboration. Like, that's one of my, because I'm a very personable individual, so I like meeting people and talking to them and taking it deeper, and it doesn't get much deeper than, like, making a song with someone that you really talked about, like, had a conversation with. Like, I would say, like, writers, my favorite writers to work with, Trip Fontaine, another one. A lot of our music isn't out because we didn't make it to release it. We just made it. Like, we just made it because we were together and because we're friends, and because, like, why not, bro? We're sitting here smoking weed. Like, let's do something. Like, we're not just chilling. Like, and if we were chilling, that's the other reason why I love working with Trip, is because there were times where we would just chill. Yeah. Because that's what we needed. We just needed to be around someone who got it and didn't need to talk about it. It's just like, I just need to be here, bro. Like, I
need that too.
Yeah, no, and it's real. That. It's like, you just need people who, it's like, sometimes you don't need to vent. Yeah. Sometimes you just need that. That's why I love my girl over here, because I think that, and, like, with her business and what she does, like, it's just about making space for people to feel comfortable, and, like, be themselves. So I think that's what a lot of me and Trip's songs are about. Like, a lot of them are very raw and very personal and very, like, we address a lot of, not even necessarily, like, traumatic events, but, like, deep thoughts that we have, and, like, a lot of, like, you would learn a lot about the neurology of, like, both of us, I feel like, if you listen to the songs that we made together. And I think, too, because we both have that old school thing of, like, competition. So it's like, and he's one of the best rappers there is. So, like, for me, it's like, my game is, my pen game gets raised to a different level when I work with him. And then Vern, as we mentioned multiple times throughout this podcast, I love that dude. One of the first people I reached out to and was like, yo, I'm an engineer, I mix, I love your music, I love your energy, I want to mix your stuff. And he has just stuck with me. Like, and that's one of the things we talked about yesterday, is just, like, just watching it develop over time and change in the studio and all that stuff. Because, man, I'm so thankful for him too, because he's a star, and, like, and he's one of my favorite rappers, like, in Columbus, period. So to be able to also be his engineer is a blessing. Like, because not because I get to hear these songs, but because. And not only because I'm a part, like, sometimes I find myself even taking the observer, like, role, even when I'm doing the work. Like, I'm like, damn, I'm really mixing this song. Like, this song is really hard as fuck. Like, I would like this song if I didn't mix this song because I'm a fan of this dude. Like, and I felt like that's why even some people like Veli, Two Blunts, like we don't actually have any songs together, I don't think, but he's one of my favorite people to work with because I just love working with him, like as a producer and engineer. He's just, his energy, Veli's just a goofball, but like also like he's very sensitive and like understanding, like, and he's like very aware. So like if you listen to his music, like he actually tells lots of stories, and he's like his stuff is really well written and his flows are very intricate, but like he doesn't really get the credit I feel like he deserves for being a good rapper and like being about what he talks. Like he's one of the few rappers who actually does what he talks about. Like, and I can say that because I'm around him. Like he's talking about smoking big blunts and shit like that. And I've been with some of these rappers. These rappers don't. A lot of y'all don't smoke weed like y'all say y'all smoke. Okay, I've been in the session with y'all. Okay, but Veli does. You know what I'm saying? He haven't. But it's like it's Veli Two Blunts. That's his name. Like you want him to live up to that standard. You know what I'm saying? Like that he's set. And I think it's dope that we have someone who's kind of like a Currency, Jet Life. Like even though his music isn't like Larry June, like Veli is like the player rapper. He's the pimp smooth guy. And so that's why I love like working with him because he's just such a, even when he's making hard like ratchet shit, it's like there's that layer of like cool to it.
Well, somebody has to fill the boots that were left when Pussy Boy died.
Shoot, hey, look, I would say Veli laid the track for that, man. Like he as ratchet as Pussy Boy was, man. Like I would say like some of like OG and Veli's early antics, I feel like made room for people to be able to be nuts here. Like we have like them and like and they're more of like the traditional like underground way, but then you have like the Pimpin' Pats, like someone who has been doing this internet shit, like has been like doing crazy wild shit, like, but that's also why I fuck with him back, because he's about what he's like, and we know he's about what he says about, because he's ended up where he's ended up at times, like, but like it's just refreshing to be around these people because a lot of these artists are dumb respectful, and like just really cool individuals, have great stories to tell, and I'm trying to think of like some other artists because I know I left people off the but yeah, I recently one of my favorite people to collab with is Static Rez, because he's really good. I feel like he brings some of the best out of me. I think I just really like his sound, man. He Static knows himself.
Yeah,
like,
I agree with that.
And I think this most recent project was a good example of that. But even if he doesn't feel like he knows himself, like it's apparent that what he's striving for, like, is sort of there. He's got a really amazing thing on his hands with his flow and his delivery, his production, like it all matches up. And then his, like, you meet him in person, it all matches up.
Oh yeah.
And so
his music 100% represents his vibe in person.
Yes.
And to add on to that as well, to shout out one of the Visioneers presenters, I think it goes by Winston, or Winston Yang, I think is what his Instagram handle is. But he's made a couple videos for them now, and it just captures him perfectly. You know, Static Rez has found the right people, and he has found himself.
Yes.
And I have a lot of respect for the artistry that he displays.
Agreed.
On the regular.
That's why I love working with them, because it's like when you work with someone like that, it makes you want to represent yourself wholly. You know, it's like I want to, like, because this man's doing his thing. He's representing himself. I need to do the exact same thing. Like, so yeah, him. I think someone else who does that, Matthew Vaughn. Whatever. I work with him. He's the first artist who really gave me the reins to his music. He was sort of just like, he let me record his first project. I didn't really do any production on it. I just did engineering, but he just trusted me from the beginning. And sometimes it really humbles me to work with him because he's such a prolific artist, honestly. Like, he's like, his talent is like he's someone that Trip recognizes as like the one. You know what I'm saying? Like he is someone who is, and is deserving. Like his vision, his execution. Even he's like, he reminds me of Static in that like sometimes some of his most brilliant moments comes from like him not realizing how much he understands himself. Like some of his most brilliant moments are just like, damn bro, like do you even realize the advice that you just gave me? Like I don't know. Like so whenever we work together, like one of the best songs, I feel like one of the top 5 songs in my music career is this song called Healing, Sunburn, that he has on his project. And I don't sing or anything on that, but I produced and mixed it. And it's not even my best mix or anything, but it's like the song is just so it's for people and it's for this time. Like it's necessary. It's like one of the most necessary songs I've ever had the pleasure of being a part of, because even when I was making the beat, I was just like, this beat is weird, and it's like if you listen, like I'll send it to you so you can listen to it, but it's like the beat is like off kilter, and it just has this weird bounce to it, but he rides it so perfectly and smoothly, like, and like the way we recorded it, it was a bitch, because like we were in my old room at the dojo, and the dojo, like, and anyone is if you're watching this, you probably know what the dojo is, but for those of you who don't, I used to live in a house with some of my closest friends. We called it the dojo. That was like, if you were making music in 2015, 2016, you know what the dojo is, because one of us invited you there. You came, smoked some blunts, freestyled, maybe showed us your album. Like that's where a lot of like me and Buzz, there's this group called Tribe at the time, Scumlord, Kid Crave. If Kid Crave is another good person to bring on here. Like, and then at that time, like Tobilla, Bree the Rapper, we had Crumbs, like, just really insanely, Kevin, AFK, like we had, and just insanely talented people, and we were all just kicking it, smoking weed, Trey B, we would all just come, and we would throw these shows, or like be on these shows, and I'll go back to the dojo after that. So I think I don't remember why I even mentioned the dojo in the first place. But I was talking about recording Healing. So we were in this space and in my room, and it's dumb hot. It's the summer, and like I had this carpet that had all this moisture absorbed into it. So like naturally, like it would be very humid in my room, and so he like, and my mic kept jacking up, or my software kept messing up. So like he would record like 2 bars and then it would stop and system overload because I had so much going on in the beat. But like it was such a struggle for us to finish. Like I'm saying all this to say, it was such a struggle for us to finish the song. But we were both so committed to it. We were both like, what I'm saying, like sweating. Like I'm talking like that sweaty where it's down your arms, like your shirt's like sticky, like just not comfortable like circumstances to be in. And like I had an AC unit. It was an old school AC unit, and it leaked. So like I couldn't use it while recording. Well, one, obviously can't use it while recording because of the volume, but also because it literally would leak and drip. So it's like you can't get those like I couldn't use it even half an hour or an hour before we would record, because otherwise it would leak for an hour. Damn. So it's like we're sitting in these hot conditions, and out of it we get this amazing record that like I feel like it's something that we're going to remaster and re-record down the line because it's necessary. And that's just the tip of the iceberg of the people that I've worked with, and even if we haven't made songs together, like I just admire, and we have work on the way, or like I would say like look out for work from me and some really like some Columbus greats right now, like people who are getting their roses right now. Just be ready like for some really great content, because I got it on. We're in the stage, but I don't even want to say their names because other people who maybe you've seen me with, but I don't even want to put that out there yet. Like, but yeah, I got some. I'll send you some of the stuff too, so you can check it out. But it's just an exciting time, man. Like, just an exciting time, and I feel like collaboration is something that's it's going to carry me through my career, because like that's what I'm here to do. I'm not here to be LeBron. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to be like the assistant coach. I'm here to like just make those small behind the scene changes that you might not know is making a big impact, but it is. Like, and I want it to be felt, because at the end of the day, it's going to help me. As you said earlier, the tide, it raises all the ships. So like, and I've realized the best way that I can help raise the tide is by helping other people improve their ships. Like, because I also have a pretty good ship. So I'm like, yo, bro, like, go here to get your wood, and you want to use this as, here's your deck scrubbers, and here's where this is the best cloth to get your sails and stuff like that. Like, let's focus on that before we even get on the ocean, because otherwise it's just gonna sink, like, or it's gonna be a miserable ride. Like, we don't want that. Like, so
if it isn't something we've already covered, what makes you a unique artist in Columbus? Because a lot of that would apply into that. But
definitely. Honestly, I think it's like my genuine appreciation for Columbus. Like, I think a lot of people are proud, are beginning to be proud to be from here, because they can, like we were talking about earlier, you have to be blind to miss what's happening here. But I think something that's always drawn people to the idea of Columbus, at least that know me and aren't from here, is how much of a fan and a preacher I am of this place and of the artists here. Like, and it's through my actions, and you know what I mean? Like, people will see that I care because they see I'm at the shows, or they see I'm working with this person, or they see, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not just saying that I love this place. I'm actively loving Columbus. I'm actively finding ways to try and make things better for the people here as well.
And this is the place to do that.
Yes. like here, literally on this podcast, to spread your message and do that, but also in Columbus. Like, Columbus is the place to do that. Like, honestly, like, even you still have, I feel like for people, they still have up to a year to like really get their stuff in order, but because, like, I'm saying, like, the checks are coming. These big companies are coming. Like, everything is on the pipeline. It's already there. So it's just like, I think, and that's what I think makes me unique, is like, I've sort of always had that understanding. Like, since 2015, I've been saying, like, hey, motherfuckers should be friends. Like, we should all, and even if we're not all friends, we should respect and get to know each other, because it's going to help us a lot down the line. And I think originally the reaction to like that sort of sentiment was everyone forming a collective. I think that's what sort of happened in 2018, is a lot of those disbanded, or, you know what I mean, not necessarily fell apart, but just like lost momentum. But I think like now it's like people genuinely just care about each other. It's like, and even if they weren't actively developing it, it's because, like, dude, I've seen you for 5 years now. Like, we've been to how many of the same shows? Like, two of my favorite artists and like one of my favorite groups of people, Mouth, shout out Jamal, and Zach Fresh and Big James, like NASA Gold. Like, NASA has always showed me some of the most love, and that was in high school. Like, before I was even like really that good, I was really starting to figure out my sound. But like, this man always showed me love, just because we were sharing the same spaces, and I think they were like, and then Mouth is a clothing brand, one of the more popular ones in Columbus, and simply because of their attitude and the way, like, you meet Jamal, you're like, dude, you're one of the nicest dudes I've ever met. Like, I want to support you. And then you're like, oh wait, you're the dude that does these clothes that I see like all these people wearing. But like, Zach Fresh the same way. It's like, he's been here for years. He's like, he has no reason, not necessarily no reason, but like, he could flex on, you know what I mean, anyone. Like, he really has the work ethic and the resume and like the discography to be like, bro, you know what I mean. But he's always and is one of the most kind, respectful, like, supportive, here for the culture individuals. And I feel like that's sort of, as much as it makes me unique, I feel like what makes me unique is like my lack of pursuit of trying to be unique. Like, it's like, you know, I recognize, like, one of the things that's brilliant is that I'm from Columbus. I'm like, I have all of these people in me, and like, I'm trying to you know, carry their message and channel it through me. So yeah, a love, like a genuine love for like this place, and a desire to get better. And like, I used to be about making winning a Grammy, but like now, I as much as that is still a goal of mine, I genuinely just want to make the best music I can, and that doesn't making the best music you can doesn't mean you're gonna win a Grammy. Like, that means you got it promoted and you ended up on Billboard and you have X and Y, Z connections. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to be in those rooms when those because there's nothing like being in those moments where it's like, damn, like this went from like a cool song to like a great song. This went to something that like, you know, I might listen to every week. So I listen to this every day because like of a ooh that we decided to add, or, you know, a beat chop right here, just one of them, but that, you know, wraps the song up. And we were all there and we like were picking in between, or like sometimes with like that's why I've loved working with Cassius Keys and like Rachel Renee, is because like sometimes it's like those small changes like that take a song from being like really good to just great. Like Astro, like the same thing. It's like when I worked on songs with him where we're like listening to the vocal and dragging it like millisecond. Like I'm zooming all the way in and like cutting up bars and sliding it by the millisecond to get it like perfectly on beat. And it's just like,
about that, yeah.
That's the kind of care and attention it takes, though. Like, just because we're not in some big budget studio doesn't mean we can't act like we're big budget engineers. That's why the people I mentioned earlier, I love them to death, and I will always bring up their names, like Jimmy, Bree the Rapper, Rizzo, and, you know, all these other engineers, because we're providing, like, you're not going to go to LA and be able to meet an engineer with our skill level for the rate that we are charging. You're not going to be able to go to New York and walk up in the studio and walk out with the song that sounds as good as it sounds for that rate. And not only that, a lot of our mixes sound as good as these places, and we're doing it on gear that we sourced ourselves, like off music money. Like, so there's a really high level of integrity there. Like, you're not just getting some person that went to college and now they're an intern, which no diss to people who like go get internships, stuff like that. But it's just different when you build your own space and, you know, you're doing it off the muscle and off the genuine care for the space. Because like a lot of us, like, we're doing these spaces initially out of our houses. So it's like you can't care, you know what I mean? You can't take it any deeper. Exactly.
I'm doing this out of
like,
my house.
Exactly. Like, we're not in some studio. Like, we're in your house. We're getting it out the mud. Like, there's nothing. So maybe that's what makes me individual, is that like I wear steel toe, metaphorically I'm wearing them steel toe boots and they're dirty, and like but I proudly wear them. Like, I proudly will wear my dirty ass fucking steel toe boots of coming out the mud, man.
That's a good answer. Yeah, I like that. Couple more things I want to cover.
Yeah.
First of all, congrats on the announcement that you're going to be on the Cloud City lineup. Not Cloud City, but Crystal Palace.
Yes.
This episode is going to come out like the Wednesday before that event.
Yep.
So it'll happen, if you're watching this on the day of, this Saturday. Starts at 9 p.m., I think. It goes until, you know, whenever, you know how Cloud City does. And see both of us there. It's going to be a dope time.
Yep.
So congrats on that.
Thank you.
That's going to be sweet. Where can people find and support you?
So, first off, catch me first at a spring break pregame. I'm just going to make sure I get the venues right because I'm good to forget that kind of stuff. But we're at Cafe Bourbon Street. The bill's just amazing. It's me, Bobby Biz, Cassius Keys, AYK, Art from Kevin, and Bill Shaft. You're just... Shout
out Bill Shaft.
Yeah, I'm not familiar. I'm excited to see his stuff because I'm not familiar with it. And Zealous on the boards, DJ
Holy
Zealous,
shit,
who's
dude.
one of the best DJs in the city.
Oh, yeah.
In Ohio, period. But we have that's an amazing bill. Me, Keys, Bobby Biz, AYK, and Art from Kevin. Like,
that's amazing.
That is a fire bill. So like that is coming up on Friday. Friday, March 6th. And then so Saturday on the 7th, before Cloud City, I'll be at Springtime of Youth. That's at Cafe Kerouac.
Okay.
It is, I think it's $10 to get in there. It's either $5 or $10 to get in. But this bill, another fire bill, it's me, Brimstone, $ Asia, OG Vern, and Jazzy Flower. So
we've interviewed Asia.
Oh, word, yeah. Asia is a monster. Like, she's about to have a crazy year, honestly. I'm excited to see what she does. So before Cloud City, stop by Cafe Kerouac. and check us out. Just because you're not going to get a bill like that. That is not a normal bill. I want that to be understood. Like, me, first of all, if Vern and I are on the same bill, it's a smash. Every time. It's a smash. Then you have $ Asia, so that's going to raise us to a whole different level because she brings a different energy. Then you have Jazzy Flower, the perfect cool down act. She's going to add a nice variety to it. Also, it's great having 2 women on the bill. Typically it's a lot of men on the bill. So it's dope. Shout out Brimstone because he's the one who booked it.
Nice.
Because actually, he's always been kind of cognizant of trying to get at least one woman on the bill. So, yeah, that's sick. And then Brimstone himself, he is another pretty slept on rapper. Super good. Like, super good. His schemes, very witty is Brimstone's content. So go there for that's going to be a really well written show now that I think about it. Like, there's going to be a lot of good songwriters and different energies there. And I've actually collaborated with everyone on that bill except for Asia. So, and we're trying to get something in the works. So it's just, if that's a testament to the quality, it's I know these people are good because I've worked with them and I've seen them perform plenty of times. So Friday, and then you got you got Crystal Palace that night. So come pregame and really get a good, I would say get your show out of the way at Cafe Kerouac, you know what I mean? Come to Crystal Palace for an experience. I think what they're doing is, I just love Sam Rothstein. I can't talk about him enough. But what his vision combined with what that whole committee is doing, there's a lot of moving parts, so I can't imagine how difficult it is to, make those things line up. But it's so sick that we have these big, however you want to cut it, it's a festival in Columbus being thrown by Columbus artists. And no matter who's throwing it or who's doing it, it's just like music. It's if you don't like the music, that's fine. But if you if you're not into some of the more street stuff, that's fine. But if you like it because you're happy that they're succeeding, that's a genuine thing. You should do that. You should be a fan of good stuff that's happening simply because it's good and it's succeeding. And that's just the theme. That might be the name of this episode. All ships rise with the tide, because it's just that's the whole idea behind it. And it's did you go to the first Cloud City?
I did.
Yeah, and it was an experience, man. It was so fun. My favorite part was just everyone who showed up to support it. It was fun just smoking, drinking with everyone, seeing every kind of art, seeing every kind of especially hip hop performer. But even there's other options there too, DJs, clothes to buy, food. He just, we said, Morgan Harper was there. We got everything that you can possibly contemplate going on in that city. And, yeah, man, it's, I'm excited for Crystal Palace also because I'm interested to see it because, once again, this spiritual stuff, I'm really into that. So, I'm interested to see how that aspect of the event is handled. Because I feel if it is handled in a very delicate and respectful manner, that this event could have a deep impact. And if not that, events like this could have a deep impact. Because spirituality is important, man. And getting people connected to themselves is important. So if we can capture that, and I'm going to make sure to speak on that at the show too, but it's just sick. It's I don't know of any events that are doing this. You have your the name of the idea. Oh, you have Comfest.
Yeah.
But that's turned into more of a commercial
a little bit
weed smokers
I can see
spot. But
I have a lot of faith in what Cassie and Isaiah can do for sure. They handled it last time. They've done similar events specifically for spirituality and yoga and such. I think they're going to keep on doing it well this time around.
Yeah. Like I said, because I haven't been to any of the events that they've done specifically geared toward that. So that's why I'm really interested because, And just to have those conversations with both of them is like, as even if it's being held in a manner that I don't necessarily agree with, I know I'll be able to have that conversation with them. Like, yo, like, I love the sentiment, but here's maybe where we need to steer the ship. You know what I mean? But that's what, like I'm saying, I feel like I like the vein that they're in. The fact that they're even doing it. The fact that there are places where they're throwing events for you to come meditate. Mm-hmm. Like, that's sick. Like,
it's pretty dope. I agree.
Yeah, come catch it. Pre-game to spring break, Showtime, Youth, Crystal Palace. I know that I got a bunch of events. Like, it's like 3 events just smashed on top of each other. But it's going to be a great time. It's going to be some really good shows. So, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Man, thank you.
My man.
Yeah. I got to do the on-cam dap. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for coming on the show this week. If you're a real pedestrian, you're on that mailing list. You know what's up. You know who is coming on the show in the next 2 weeks. But if you're not, hop on that shit. Thank you to everybody who came out to the anniversary party that has not happened yet as of this recording, but will happen, and then will have happened as this is released. So, if you had a good time, thank you very much for coming out to that. I know it was a fantastic time already. And we will see you again next Wednesday morning, just like every single week. Thank you so much.